What is up, YouTube? Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. So, I just got done with my second day of CNA CRNA clinicals for my class, and I have officially finished my summer semester jam packed class for nursing that I took for to become a registered nurse down the road. And I don't it's not part of the the pathway to become an RN, but I just believe that it is the foundation of nursing. And CNA, CNRNA, they do a lot of stuff that most nurses don't do. Well, most RNs don't do because they're more of like, IVs, blood drawn, admin stuff, all that, higher level, highly experienced stuff. That's why they get paid more than CNAs. But it's very important to start from a CNA, CNRNA to an LPN, an RN. You don't really have to, you know, get certified as an LPN, but it just, more pay on top of, becoming a CNA or CNRNA. So let's get right to it. So as I finish my class, I go back to the same, I wouldn't say retirement home, but uh I go back to the long-term care facility that, I'm training on hands-on. I'm learning the skill sets that I learned in the classroom, and I'm working around like more women. Like the ratio of men to women is absolutely crazy, to the point where I actually see more men in the kitchen than actually on the floor. I would have to say there was probably about like 5 or 6 men out of like 35, 40 women in this facility. And that's not including the residents. That's just the staff members, including, the kitchen and janitors and all of that. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, like this is gonna sound like very offensive and rude, but it's almost as if like I never left Pattaya, Thailand, but it's just a different environment. Like I met a lot of women who were single mothers. I met a lot of women who were, like going through their, fun phase, or their, you know, taking their Lexapro drugs, or their, like I met a different type of breed of women that I didn't meet when I was in Pattaya, Thailand. I put it like that. And the only difference that I seen besides, culture and race was just the fact that these women just had it better than the women that I met in Pattaya, Thailand. But you wouldn't know unless you visited Pattaya, Thailand, and you went around Pattaya and met the locals and started talking to them. And something I realized is that nursing like I said, nursing is a female or a woman dominated field. And when you start to see the business model, the stereotypes, the stigmas, they are, slowly but surely coming true. Like there's really only two types of nurses that I know. And it has nothing to do with knowledge. It's more physical, right? There's the nurses that have no tattoos, and then there's the nurses who have tattoos. And then there's the BBWs, there's the single mothers, and then there's the yeah, that's about it. Be honest with you guys. Yeah, that's about it that I've seen. Oh, wait, I forgot. The lesbians. Excuse my language. The lesbians. And I'm working around with them. I'm hanging out with them, and I could already tell some of them like me as a person because I'm very professional. I'm very polite. I'm, I have to treat them differently and give them more respect because in this type of field, as a man, anything could anything you say or do could be used against you if you don't ask permission or ask consent. Just because it's just how the nursing field is as a man, right? But also at the same time, men are very valuable when it comes to the type of demand for heavy lifting. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all, like the lifting was no joke. I met a lot of strong women who were like pushing residents to their sides that weigh like 200 or 300 pounds. And I'm sitting there like, bro, this woman is like 40, 50 pounds. How the hell is she able to do this? And I start to realize like, wow, I think I know why, I'm here. I think I know why men are needed because the women don't have that natural testosterone strength and muscular stability as much as men do because we're the warriors, we're the conquerors. We go and conquer and fight. That's who we are, deep inside of our biology, right? And I come to realize that it evens out the playing field when you bring more men into the field. You can say yin yang, it balances it out. But overall, I just realized like how much respect you know I've got, working around women and being with women. But also I've also learned that a lot of women, don't really like me because of the fact that I'm just a man, and they will never in their entire life be able to get to my level as a man. Yes, there's women like that in the field. Usually you'll know by the way how they treat you, whether it's like, they dismiss you, they disrespect you, or they just don't understand boundaries and they're trying to push your limits. But, as a man, you're forced to be tested. That's what makes you a man. You will always be tested as a man. And a lot of a lot of men don't understand this, and that's a compliment me calling other males. I'm sorry, a lot of males don't understand this. It's because they don't know how to handle their emotions. And especially in the medical field, you have to work under pressure, especially under pressure together. You can't show any emotion. You have to like withdraw from the conflict and focus on the reason and purpose. And that's to provide care and comfort to the resident by any means. But for the most part, it's a very humbling experience. I've accepted that mortality is something that a lot of people don't want to accept in this world. They just live life on ease and pleasure and think that it will never end. And I seen what, people's last few, moments they had on this earth. And it's very, I wouldn't say traumatizing, but it's a very eye-opening experience that you will never know until, you get into the field and understand what I'm talking about. So, hope you guys have a wonderful day. I'll see you guys later.